Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Ken's Cuts. In this Sunday edition, we're actually going to get to fire up the Yukon Solo Stove that I talked about in my smokeless video a couple of weeks ago. Decided it's a beautiful Saturday evening here in central Jersey. It's about 70 degrees and we've got nothing going on tonight, so I decided we'd bring some scraps from the wood yard and try out the homemade fire starters that I use and show you guys how it all works. So in the wheelbarrow here to my right, I've got some 10-month-old Bradford pear. This stuff is rock solid. Bradford is a non-fruiting pear, and this wood is not good for smoked food. It is smoky, but it's the wrong kind of dirty smoke. So we're going to be putting some of this in down low to get the fire going. I've got some slabs of cherry that's well over a year old. It's just some slab pieces that I took off from when I was doing my smoking bundles. And then I've also got some about 2-year-old locust that's barkless, that's ready to go. Once we get the bed of coals going, we'll toss some locust in. And we're going to get everything started today with some smooth bark hickory that I pulled some bark off of and recently sold some smoking bundles, and you know that the hickory's ready to go when you pull it off the stack and the bark's literally shedding. So this is beautiful kindling. So let me get the camera set up, get the fire pit ready to go, and we'll be right back to you. Stick around. All right, guys, welcome back. I've actually got my neighbor Matthew with me. He's 12 years old, and I recruited him to do some video because, you know, having the camera on the tripod's not always fun when we're trying to zoom in and out on the fire pit and stuff. So anyway, what we've got going here is I actually make these. These are the homemade fire starters that I do. It's a soy-based wax and white oak chips, and these things will go about 15 minutes. So what we'll do is we'll set this in the bottom of the pit. And when we light, we'll light 2 spots, and we'll set this in the bottom, and then we'll start stacking around the pit. And then we're going to lay a couple of these Bradford pear pieces that I was talking about on either side, and these will be the base. And then we've got some of the smooth bark hickory that's going to burn really hot. This is great kindling. So we'll lay these in underneath. And then what we'll do is build a little, basically like a little set of Lincoln logs. And then we get these crisscrossed. And then I don't want to block it up. So we're going to actually zoom in on this. And we're going to light the fire starter. What I tell everybody is we light the rim like 2 spots. We're actually going to do 3 spots. Alrighty. I'm actually going to lay one of these down in underneath, like so. Crisscross these. Try not to block it. All right, so we'll give that a minute. All right, guys, so that cup literally went completely around the perimeter, and the wax in the center is starting to catch. And I got a couple little scrap pieces on top there, and you can kind of see them starting to catch. and it's only been about a minute or so. Once that rim completely goes around and starts to burn, then the wax in the center starts to puddle up, and you get like a little torch effect. Those little pieces are starting to catch. So I'm going to rearrange a couple of these pieces, and we'll be right back to you, and then we're going to set this into time lapse. We'll be right back. All right, guys, so that's been literally less than 5 minutes, and we started with a lot of those hickory scraps and some of that Bradford pear that I was talking about. And as you saw during the time lapse, as the flames started catching the small kindling pieces in the center, then you saw the flame comes up through. And during the tail end of that time lapse, you saw me reaching in, adding some pear pieces to the outside. And we are literally smokeless. It's amazing. That outer wall will need to get up to temperature. And as Matthew pointed out, we were watching during the time lapse, he's like, wow, I could see the smoke actually getting sucked down into the bottom of the pit. And there's some ridiculous, crazy heat coming off this already. And I think I'm going to need longer gloves and a longer poker stick, that's for certain. But I was warned by the people in the Solo Stove community that this Yukon is going to eat wood, and I do believe that is true. She's fully engulfed. I'll have to watch the time and see how long it's actually been, but I'm going to say about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and you can't even see that fire starter down in there. It's so far buried now, but anyway, that's what we got going on. I'm going to add a few more pieces here and get this wheelbarrow out of the way before it melts. And I appreciate you guys all tuning in, sticking with us. And if you like this kind of stuff, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. Tell your friends and family. And if it's anything wood related that they're interested in, have them check out my channel. All right, guys, until next Sunday, have a good one. And, oh, by the way, I'm sporting my Hardworking Man shirt. That's paying homage to Heath and Rachel. They're the couple from Michigan that taught me about these fire starters. And to date, I've sold about 600 of them. I sell them in bags of 12 for 10 bucks. And I had barbecue guys here this week picking up bundles for the first time. And I sent out a few samples, and they absolutely love them. So I know they work. They're totally food safe. And that's about all we got going on. So thanks a lot, guys. Take care. We'll see you next Sunday. Have a good one.